Dear God, please don't tell me that we will get despair next week. Please don't tell me Celdris is stronger than Estarosa. I mean, if Estarosa doesn't die from this, fine. But please! Oh damn, this was too awesome! In the Nanatsu no Taizai chapter 185. I did not like the fact that if it wasn't for one little thing, Escanor would not have won. I think. However, we for the first time, well, maybe not the first time. He did. We may have seen that during the Vampire King fight. But what I'm trying to say is, this was almost like the first time we've seen Escanor's true full power. And when I mean full power, I mean at noon. It was almost noon, at least 1 hour, or was it half an hour, until moon. We strangely saw some random farmers too. Are you aware that Britannia is in chaos? Either way, what happened? Well, first of all, Escanor's fire is actually melting the armor of everybody else around them. Meaning fully aware that, well, one other reason, I think this is one other reason why Escanor rarely fights alongside the others, since his magic is just so powerful, it can hurt the others. It's not just that his prideful personality may be strange, no, it is his magic. His magic is just that strong. And of course, well, it pisses me off that Gil says, if we take revenge from Meliodas, I'll let my body burn to a crisp. I mean, I get it, man. You are obsessed and very mad what happened to Meliodas. Who wouldn't be? But it's just that hate that is allowing you to become weak. If you want to take revenge, get stronger, but I highly doubt any human other than Escanor can get stronger in such a short amount of time. But either way, by asking Ban a little question, Escanor managed to, well, kick, or maybe it's more likely to say he punched Escanor all the way to a famous lake, which he then sent his burning sun into it, along with Estarosa. And that heat was so great that it created enormous steam, and apparently that lake is no small lake either. Fraudrin calling Escanor a monster. Well, that's not something I would really want to be hearing. The thing is that Escanor's attack is apparently Cruel Sun, which he kicked his miniature sun that he created. Either way, even though he used that attack, it still wasn't enough to kill Estarosa, but it did burn almost a bit of his flesh out and destroyed his armor. So but using his darkness, he managed to save himself. And so they decides to end this darkness. No, not darkness, this fight. But then Estarosa elopes the magic sun in darkness, and then uses full counter, which creates a humongous amount of explosions that seemingly, well, not decapitates, but crushes Escanor, meaning that he explained it by his darkness swallowing up his sun. It's an upper hand in magic, and with his full counter reflecting physical attack, then he redirected all the damage back to Escanor. As Celdris is pleased that this is decided, we hear that one line which creates awesome. It's when I said a couple of farmers. Well, they said it's more than half an hour before noon, and they are farming, saying they are talking about as long as you keep your eyes on the sun, no matter how Gellament off, as long as it's overhead, it'll always be staring right back down on you. Well, that is something that is quite poetic, because as the sun burns, Estarosa, to his horror, realizes he has been cut, and he didn't even see that, as Escanor suddenly changes his speech pattern even more, as he destroys the darkness with pure strength, creates a new cruel son, and apparently grows so big that he now completely towers over Estarosa. Yes! That's what I wanted to see. A demon's face surging with despair. That's so satisfying. But I have a very big feeling we will feel despair next week. Judging on what that next title of next week's chapter is. Either way, as Estarosa, to his fear, realizes that Escanor has grown so big. I don't, or maybe he hasn't grown that. Maybe it's like a fear manifestation. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that he realizes that Escanor's powers just keep getting surging and it's better as ever. As Escanor says, "Who says you saying my attack cannot reach thee? Who decides that? My blazing sun is swallowed by darkness? Who decides that? The one who decides such things is me!" It's then Zeldris for the first time panics as he says to his brother to flee, and Estarosa screams in well, I don't really know if it's fear, but I think it's disbelief fear, as Escanor throws that mighty sun right at Estarosa and says, "Be gone!" And such, the vicious savage attack turned even Charity to ash. Well, if he survives that, then we will really have problem. It seems, for all, this fight is decided. But next week's chapter is called The Battle for the Defense of Lioness, so I have a very big feeling it's not gonna be the end. The Titans may have finally clashed, but I do not think it's the end of the battles. How did Escanor's power work now again? I think they said at noon his power surpasses any of the sins. And what does that mean? Does that mean that once it reaches noon, its power will only go down after that? Because then the sun will go down. Is that how it works? Because if it's like that, then Escanor's power is now only gonna get weaker, given how the fact that we still have a couple of commandments left. I don't really see any hope for them. The deceptive battles at Lioness. Yeah, I have a very big feeling it's gonna be despair. It doesn't surprise me if Zeldris just happens to be stronger than Estarosa. Why? Well, why not? Let's just face despair, shall we? I certainly hope he's not stronger than Estarosa. Because if the strongest is dead, then there's still hope for the humans to win this. But again, the only one who could give a commandment battle that he got afraid of, that was Escanor. And he even managed to cut Estarosa, even with his full counter, because his attack was just that fast. This was pure and simple awesome. But what awaits us now? No freaking idea. But please, if this is now the decisive battles next week, let this battle be over and give 1 point to the humans so they can become stronger. And what happened to Meliodas? Has the Demon King won? Give me your thoughts if you have any.